Hello. Today is November 19th, 2023, and we are off to White Marsh because I have a doctor's appointment, even though it's not time. And you guys got lots of random little videos. Again, it's November 19th, and I am now pre-published until a little bit into July, and I am pre-published until Christmas Eve for my little random how-to videos. And I have an extra plug for some reason. We are currently reporting from Big Sexy, and I am trying to get squared up because I have to, there we go, put you guys on charge, which I just did. You guys are currently uploading videos. I'm very proud of myself for uploading all the videos that I did. But we're going to go to Georgetown, throw some laundry in, hopefully hit a Once Upon a Child, and we might not be able to hit Once Upon a Child. But yeah, we're going to go on an adventure. And my poor Charlie cat is so super grumped up because he's like, Mommy, why are you leaving me? Because he has separation anxiety so bad. And so anytime that Mommy goes bye-byes, he gets super grumpy. And I feel super bad. Because I don't want my poor little baby kitten to be all upset. But that's what happens. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I'm going to assume that I'll be releasing this sometime in July. I'm not really sure on which day in July. I just know it's like, I think it's the first week of July. Oh. But Johns Hopkins is really cool because you can schedule appointments at nighttime. And I thought I was going to be in the Baltimore area, not in the Manassas area, when I scheduled this appointment. But I had stuff to work on with the trucks. Oh, and I love taking this truck out because I know you guys can hear her exhaust. She purrs. She's just always so thirsty. So some of the stuff that was done today, once I get out of personally identifying information area. Oh shoot, did I close my truck bed? I did, okay. So I tried and failed at cranking up my 1980 CJ7 Jeep. That made me grumpy. But like, I also put the battery in that my dad took. I think my dad took it. I didn't take it. I don't know what happened to my battery. I'm very grumped up about having to buy a whole new battery. And then I was able to get my windshield washer fluid pipes squared up. So you know what? I really should probably stop at an AutoZone because I only have a smidgen. Yeah, I have toys rattling around back there. I only have a smidgen of water in the reservoir because I want to make sure that I have windshield wiper fluid in there. And so if we get another freeze or anything, it doesn't freeze the reservoir because then I'll be dealing with a whole different issue. Look at those pretty lights behind me. So yeah, that's been the synopsis of the day. And then the day before, I was poking around with the Trailblazer. But you guys don't know what I do from day to day because some of my videos are current-ish and some of my videos are not current-ish. And if I say the dates, then you're like, you're all the way in July and I'm back in November. So, you know, sit back, enjoy the ride. I'll let this play out for a little bit and then I'm going to do a hyper video so that way I can enjoy my blasting music without having to mute all of the artists that don't want to monetized on YouTube but don't have a problem with their music being played on YouTube, which I find to be very odd because it's like small dividends. If you have lots of people playing your music and then you make it where you can be monetized, then you get your money put into a creator pool and then they give you money. So then you're getting paid off of work that you've already done, which is the whole principle of music. And so it just doesn't make sense. Because you have like some people, yeah, I'm going to go off on a random tangent. You have some artists that completely block their music from being played on anyone else's stuff. And so when I see those, they come up as a big circle that has a no. So you have those, which I had already I already was able to get rid of all those guys before I was monetized. But then once I became monetized, all of a sudden I had tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of videos that could not be monetized additionally, or could not be monetized, not additionally, but just couldn't be monetized because some of the artists show up as a yellow something, and basically for whatever reason their music is not approved by certain areas of the world, and so they're banned. So those people I have to get rid of, and then I also have to get rid of the people that don't mind their music being played, but they don't want to monetize. They don't want anyone making money off of their music, but it's another creator, like it's a content creator that would get part of the funds for that music, and then it would be the musical artist that would also get funds. So I think that that's pretty good because, like, if I was able to keep my driving videos up, the ones that cannot be monetized, there's a lot of really good songs on the radio, and I know everybody's into, like, you know, the cool stuff of like the Spotify, which I've never done, or the Sirius radio, which I very rarely do because I don't like it because it's not playing the kind of music that I'm used to, but then now I'm different and I play whatever. Because then you're hitting an audience that otherwise, you know, with me, you know, it could be country music, you know, down one road, and then because a DJ comes on, or no, because commercials come on, I don't mind the DJs talking, but anything that's commercialized, then I move on to the next station. So you can go from country to opera, and you can have a country person that all of a sudden realizes, hey, it's not that I don't like opera, I just haven't had exposure to the right songs. So it broadens the perspective and the audience that you're playing the music for. And if we're broadening our perspectives, then you stop having so many like little micro areas of interest where people are just like bored with life. I don't know. Just some random observations, because I used to listen to rap and pop before my oldest started trying to sing along to a song. And then at that point I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to flip you guys. Woo! And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore because I don't want to be listening to anything that's not appropriate for her. And so I turned into a pop country or today's country or new country listener, whereas I had never listened to that genre of music before. I equated country music as being whiny, mopey music at that stage in my life, and I had to force myself into a different genre because of the benefit of my child. So I kind of throw that out there because if you're listening to the music that's playing in my driving videos, and then it switches to a genre that you normally wouldn't listen to, but then you are still enjoying the visual stimulus of the video, then perhaps it's broadening your perspective on life. And that doesn't just cross over to music, that can cross over to, you know, religious things and orientation things and, you know, some of the ism-y things, because, you know, I know a lot of different people in a lot of different, you know, realms of society and parts and places in the United States, and I've met a few people, you know, abroad. I haven't traveled extensively abroad, but I have traveled outside of the United States, and I've lived with different cultures and seen different cultures and experiences, and I'm always just fascinated by it. But a lot of people are not fascinated by it. A lot of people are scared of it because it's different than what they're accustomed to, because they haven't had that exposure. So if you can challenge yourself each day to listen to different genres of music and just kind of skip whenever there's a commercial, because you know what? You don't have to be commercialized every second of your day. We have billboards all over the place. We have people driving down the road and all these little crunchy automobiles that are, showing whatever advertisement for their business. They're all very intrusive. None of us gave consent to have billboards scandalize our visual perception of life. And I'm trying to make fun of that, but then I'm also I'm not being funny at the same time, where we have things that are forced upon us that we don't even recognize as being forced upon us, but then we are sitting here making all these grand debates on other things. So if you find yourself to feel like you are just in a teeny tiny microism of your life and you're only paying attention or caring about certain things, and you feel that maybe you might be a little bit biased, or you're not sure if you're biased, try changing the station. And so if you're a country guy and you're listening to country music, flip the station when people start, trying to commercialize the music that you're listening to, and whatever plays, it plays. If it's opera, then you're going to listen to that opera ballad. If it's a rap song, then why don't you listen to those words and see what they're singing about? Because I'm telling you, as somebody that's listening to all these different genres from all these different years and time periods and cultural backgrounds and everything else, everybody's singing about the same thing. It's love, it's freedom, it's all these different concepts. It's, being the underdog or trying to rise up. Of course, there's religious stuff that's thrown in there as well. So, that also gets it throwing out to the people that are, atheists, or maybe they're pagan, or maybe they're non-denominational, or maybe they have, some biases towards religious stuff because the minimal experience that they've had, or they haven't had any experience, has been negative stuff. And so maybe you should listen to some of those lyrics and see what kind of stuff they have in there. And that's not just poking at those people, it's poking at all different ones, where it's if you feel like you're a staunch Catholic and you are living the life of the faith because you're going to church every day and your butt's in a pew, are you actually really lit when you're switching your stations and you get to that Christian station? Do you become uncomfortable, or do you become enticed because you feel like that song is about your life? Or do you feel like maybe you're just going through the motions of this religious thing because maybe you've been indoctrinated and you don't really know what to do and how to pray and have a religion with your deity? And again, I'm not trying to make this about religion. I'm not trying to make this about isms. I'm not trying to make this about anything other than this drive through this quaint little area, which is super duper adorable, and trying to talk, and didn't mean to talk this long, but I found out the other day that that there are a couple people that like the sound of my voice, and one said that I was soothing and calming, and that they would like to listen to me talk while I drive down the road. And so that's what I'm doing, and it's just stuff that just popped into my mind as I'm pining away over here thinking about the music that I could be listening to and not being deep in thought, because I like to drive with my music blaring so that my thoughts are not blaring. And sometimes, just sometimes, if I'm paying enough attention to the music and the lyrics and the content of what's going on, I can get outside of my head, and it can be just me and the road and the visual stimulus and the words of that song, and I am not concerned about all the other things that I could be doing, should be doing, or should have done with my life. And now, because I've been distracted by the lights and just kind of talking out loud, that's kind of what happened. So the other gentleman, the one said that my voice was calming. He'd like to see me driving around because he liked the visual stimulus, and he'd like to listen to me talk about different subjects, which is why we're testing this theory. And then the other gentleman said that because my voice was nuanced and my pitch was different, and he had an auditory processing disorder because of the way that I spoke, that he normally had issues listening and being engaged when someone was talking because of that auditory processing disorder. But because of the way that I speak, because it is unique and special, as are most of the people in the world in their own little special ways, that I grab people's attention, and I also speak with confidence and almost like a British accent, even though I'm very much an American. So yeah, we're puts a lot of dollars behind the land and the value, and so they get to live in a very quaint, quiet little existence. And the fun thing about my life is that I go from this little realm to the big city that's dangerous and all these other little stigmas that are attached to it. And I enjoy both places because I've had enough exposure to life where I can enjoy both places. And maybe you're sitting on the other side of the screen and, like, you know, you're only in one or the other and you're not thinking about the in-between. And it's really quaint. So, you know, hopefully I can share perspectives, and, you know, maybe if you guys want to show me your little areas of the world, then you can upload a YouTube video and send me a link, and I'll check it out and see what kind of stuff you're working with. Because right now, we're all dealing with, and we're all worried about the same things, and there's people that are in better situations than us and people that are in worse situations than us, and I think we all need to start working on trying to get along, and I think we also need to all start worrying about trying to get back to the basics on how all of this, you know, great country was put together and everything like that. I mean, I'm just, you know, some random girl on the other side of the screen that's talking to you guys and getting distracted by vehicles, because in my mind, I want to know what each vehicle is, and I can typically tell what they are based off of their headlights, which I've prided myself in for a good chunk of time, but for some reason now all the vehicles are getting a little similar. Like that was either an Acura or Honda. I shouldn't have to wonder if it was an Acura or Honda. But because people are starting to steal each other's little facial expressions and everything else, it's making it where someone like me, and that was a Ford, and that was a minivan. There's a bunch of different ones, and that's going to be a Nissan truck right there. And I can tell you, like, because I'm driving, I'm trying to be actively engaged, I'm not processing, I normally could tell you what each vehicle was, but because they're so easily disguisable and headlights are being changeable, it's harder to know what's real and what's not real, and which family is part of the other family. I'm not trying to be all weird and stuff. That was a Tesla cat. Not to be confused with a Tesla cat, because I'm not sure on the model or the colors of that one. There is a certain one that will kind of rub me the wrong way. But yeah, just random babbling. How about that? I'm just a cuckoo bird. I'm just a cuckoo bird on the other end of the screen. But for some reason, you might still be watching the video. And I hope you guys have a great night. And I hope that it's warm and sunny, but not too hot, because you're going to be in July and I'm going to be in November. And, you know, people are going to be confused when I publish my December stuff, and they're going to be like, it's December. It's New Year's Eve. Why is she working on her Jeep? Because they're going to be expecting Christmas stuff, and they're not going to get Christmas stuff. Because it's going to be me on the other end of the TV screen, or the cell phone screen, or the laptop screen, or the pad screen, or whatever screen is in front of your face that you're spending way too much time on. But I'm not fanciful. I'm not going to edit for you. I'm not going to do anything except for live my life and then put a screen in front of me to record my life in delay for you guys and for myself for posterity's sake, and for my children for posterity's sake, and for the people that would like to spend time with me every day but can't because I'm here, there, and everywhere. And there's a few different reasons. There's a lot of different reasons why I'm doing this. And I'm enjoying myself. So if I'm enjoying myself and I'm educating or calming people, because everything else in your world is supposed to be so overstimulating with so many different flips of the screen and perception changes and everything else, that a filtered picture could be a filtered picture or could not be a filtered picture. We don't know up from down and left from right and everything else, because we have so many things around us at all times. So if you happen upon my videos and you find them to be boring, but then you stay engaged, you might be a little overwhelmed with your life, your existence, and you might just need something kind of boring and normal and mildly interesting, just enough to keep your attention, but not enough where you want to deep dive in it and find out every single little speck of it. Because TV shows and radio stories and everything else, they used to be a lot more calm. And I think that we're at the point where we're trying to be so overstimulated that everything's bam, 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 bam in your face, that I think that we're all starting to get a little bit burnt out from it. And we're starting to get a little feisty with people that we shouldn't be getting feisty with. Because everybody that's here is family, right? We're all family in some type of way. We see each other every single day. And no matter which place in the country you come from, there's somebody else that they're sharing a few different things with you. You're just not seeing it yet. So let's start bonding it out. Especially since when this gets released, it'll be Happy Birthday America. And hopefully some of that American pride comes back in stride. Occasionally I can rhyme. It's not all the time. If I'm very visually distracted, especially by that little Ford, lots of different things. I'm just rambling. I'm just talking out. I'm just thinking and talking out loud. That's it. But if you just stop, look, and listen, the world's not as scary as you think it is. And people's little personalities shine through. Like that four-door Jeep Wrangler has some little flaggies that are flying around. And I like seeing little nods of personality here and there. It's cute. It's adorable. Even the vehicles are a little special because like that one driving over, that Civic over there that was coming through, or that CRV, the two Hondas. Oh, or this one coming. I see you. Oh, they're all Hondas. All the Hondas. My goodness. So we had 3 Hondas in a row where one headlight had recently been changed out or was burning out. One was out, and then that one that's in the left-hand lane in front of us is burned out. And, happy little coincidences. But just little small distractions in life. Not these big, flashing, loud, frame-changing, overstimulating, keep you going, keep you entertained, keep you, until you get burned out. It's not that stuff. That's not what my channel is about. My channel is about a couple frame changes here and there because it seems like I should do it. Not changing, not trying to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's mainly just about teaching and making you feel a little bit more complete. I think this is the way I go. Yes. All right, well, we're about to hit the interstate. So as soon as this time's out, I'm going to turn it off. But once again, I hope you're having a fantastic evening. I hope that you enjoy my videos to some extent. And I hope to see you again. And if you have questions, concerns, comments, comment on one of my videos and I'll see if I can help you out. Alright? We're all neighbors here.